Kind of is,
I think
right?
we should just call it, yeah, the halftime show.
Like
It works.
our live show, like during the UFC card, basically a halftime show. But how you doing
Yeah.
today, Payne?
Man, I'm doing good. Just excited to watch these fights. I could be more excited to see this main event tonight and the co-main event, honestly, as well. And, we've been doing well throughout this card. And, I'm just happy to see we've landed you guys some winners. And we're thoroughly excited to see how this card plays out. So,
Okay.
Brad, how are you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Just I was just talking to Payne about it. Currently undefeated. Had a big underdog pick hit too with the over 1.5 rounds with the Khalil Roundtree fight. So feeling good, man. The picks I've been hitting. The last two cards I struggled in the prelims and did better in the main card. This one I'm doing well in the prelims, and hopefully that continues into the main card. So feeling good so far tonight. About tonight.
Yeah, so let's just go ahead and start breaking down the fights real quick. We're just going to do a quick recap for our new viewers. We're just going to quickly go over the prelims, what our picks were, why we picked those, and maybe include anything else into there. So in the first fight, we had flyweights Albazi versus Dumagulov. Um, yeah, Albazi showed up. That's exactly what we predicted, Brad. I think you predicted the same way, if I remember correctly. But I had Albazi money line, and it ended up working out for us. So congratulations to anyone that hit that.
Yeah, Albazi, that was easy money. I mean, Zaglas, just a good all around fighter, but got to take the elite grappler in that every time, especially when the odds were so close. What other fights caught your eye?
So Evolov as well. I don't know about you, but I know you've obviously hit every fight, so I assume we had the same picks on this fight. So I had Evolov by decision.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Lentz, that guillotine, if you rewatch the video I highlighted, he has a serious guillotine. It's a significant threat to anyone that fights him. And Evolov was just able to defend the submission, defend the takedown, and it ended up working out for him. And, it showed Nick Lentz really went through a lot of stuff during that fight, and he was damaged by the end of that fight. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, Nicholas had his moments. Those guillotines. I was like, oh my god, is he about to pull this underdog pick off? But I mean, Evolov, he's legit. He's one of those guys that has a future. He's just a winner. It's not going to be too exciting when you watch him, but he knows how to pull out wins. So is he one of the Russian guys too?
Yeah,
Yeah, those Russians,
I
man,
believe so. I believe so.
they just know how to grind out wins. They're just grinders. So Evolov's just one of those guys. And then that Khalil
Yeah.
Roundtree fight, Marcin Pacino. You think it robbery? I mean,
I mean, here's the thing. People throw around the word robbery a lot. Robbery isn't meant to be on a close fight. A robbery is when it's a definitive loss. And do I think it was a robbery? No. But do I think Khalil probably won that fight? And at least in my eyes, yes. I was a little surprised by the judge's decision, but that's what happened. He didn't come out. He didn't throw hands in the third round. He didn't seem like he wanted the win as much as Marcin. So you got to give it to Marcin. He came in as a plus 250 dog. I can't remember what he closed at, but at least when we did the show, he was plus 250. And he showed up and he was going to get cut. So it just shows that sometimes when you have to fight to live, it pays out.
yep. Yeah, man. I mean, it's good for Marcin. I definitely thought Khalil was going to knock him out first round, second round. I did pick the over 1.5 just for the value, but very surprised Khalil Roundtree didn't pull that win off. And I don't know what's next for him. Like, he looks like a beast. Sometimes he fights like a beast, but he's been stacking up L's. So I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
like Khalil Roundtree, but he's just too many L's, really. Like
Yeah, a lot of the
8-5.
broadcasters, I don't know if you were listening to audio at all, but a lot of the broadcasters were saying how basically he really thought that what's his name? Khalil dominated the entire fight. He couldn't figure out why he lost. And
Mhm.
I think Marcin probably pulled up a little bit of a robbery, but once again, I don't think it was too much of a robbery.
Totally. Yeah, a lot of people in the comments are asking when the fight is. I'm assuming you're talking about the McGregor Poirier card. East Coast, you're probably looking at what, like 12, 1 o'clock, you'd say, Pen?
Probably around 12:15. I mean, it really just depends how everything plays out tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, we still got a while, but there's some good fights leading up to it. But let's finish this recap pretty quick. Julia Pena. I mean, Sarah McMahon, she's a Olympic wrestler, so I had Pena winning, but I didn't expect her to get taken down that easily, and easy win for Pena.
Hey, Brad. The connection's pretty bad on my side, by the way.
You're good. Yeah, you're kind of frozen right now, but you're able to hear me, right?
Yeah, I'm just now able to hear you. It just came through.
No
It
problem.
kind of lagged out for the last couple seconds. I apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties.
But yeah, we were on that Julia Pena fight.
But
How'd you feel about that?
so, uh, Sarah McMahon, I had Sarah McMahon money line, and
Yeah.
that was the pick that I said to Hammer. And the first two rounds look real promising, but Juliana Pena showed up. She showed out in the third round, and it really made the difference. The submission defense from Sarah McMahon was spectacular in the first and second round, but it really started to wear down on her as the fight went on, and she got caught at the end of the fight.
Yep. How much time do we got left till the main card, you say?
About 7 minutes.
Gotcha. All right, we could run through this Brad Tavares fight against Antonio Carlos Jr. I had Brad Tavares money line. I was pretty pumped on it. Antonio Carlos Jr. The only way he was going to win this fight is if he took Tavares down, and Tavares was able to stuff the takedowns and just piece him up in the stand up a little. Wasn't too much of an exciting fight, but good performance by Brad Tavares, getting back on the winning side after two tough losses.
Yeah, and I think the most disappointing thing to me is I thought Carlos Jr.'s takedowns would be the difference in that fight, and Tavares had spectacular takedown defense. I think he went 10 for 11 on takedown defense throughout that fight. So, I mean, he clearly won that fight. I don't know how Carlos Jr. went to that decision with his hand raised so confidently like he won that fight. I mean, it was clear as hell that he lost. And, you got to give it to Carlos Jr. for going into the decision with that, or being that optimistic going into decision. But you got to be happy for Brad Tavares. He's had a rough couple years. Both of these fighters tore their ACLs at the same time. They've had to sit out for a while. So I'm happy to see Tavares back in the win column. And for Carlos Jr., just keep working on those takedowns.
Totally. And then we had so I don't know. Do you want to give your feelings on that Ottman situation? Just real quick.
Oh,
I want to hear what you have to say about that.
there's not even much I can say about it because, like, how dumb is the guy? I
Dumb.
mean, he's a UFC prospect. He could have absolutely dominated the lightweight division, at least based off his previous performances. 13-0-0. I think 9 of his 13 finishes were in the first round. I mean, spectacular prospect, and he just blew it all.
Mm-hmm.
I think the better question, Brad, is what was in the bag?
That's the question. I mean, the UFC knows what's in the bag, right?
Was it something sketchy? Was it drugs? Was it who knows? And this guy, whoever he hired, was willing to take their bands, was willing to shimmy across 4 different balconies, bring the bag into Fight Island, climb down off the balconies, run away from security, and was later caught. I don't know. It's just sketchy. And I honestly feel bad for Matt Frevola because, I think Frevola actually had a shot at winning in his last fight. And I think as soon as he got paired against Sukaran, it's rough.
Yeah.
The UFC wasn't doing him any favors, but at the same time, I get why he accepted the fight because, he's in Abu Dhabi. He flew all the way out there to fight.
Yeah. That, like you said, the person I feel bad for the most is Matt Frevola. I mean, I had a good feeling Matt Frevola, could maybe pull out that win against Ottman, but Sarukian, that guy's no joke. Matt Frevola is a tough dude, but Sarukian, he's someone we're definitely gonna have to keep our eyes out on.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and jump into the main card real quick, Brad, because we're kind of running out of time. Just to kind of run through it real quick. In the first fight, we have Andrew Sanchez versus Makhmud Muradov. Sanchez is entering this fight 12-5-0. Muradov is entering this fight 24-6-0. Muradov is coming in as a little bit of a favorite. He's at minus 185 right now, at least according to the book I'm looking at. Muradov's on a 13-fight win streak, and I'm basically Muradov hammer at money line. It's a little bit steep. I usually don't like to take a favorite that strong, but I would hammer at money line.
Yep, totally agree. I think Muradov gets this win easy. I mean, he's on a 13 fight winning streak, so he's one of those guys that are just have all the momentum in the world. And I mean, Andrew Sanchez, he's coming off a KO win, fought some good guys, but I think Muradov is the superior fighter in this one and gets the win. Which one do we got next?
Yeah, and the next fight we have Jessica Eye versus Joanne Calderwood in the flyweight 125-pound division. Jessica Eye's entering this fight 15-8-0. She's coming in as a slight underdog. Joanne Calderwood is coming into this fight as a slight favorite at -120. Basically this fight's a pick'em. Some books have it as a pick'em actually if you really shop around, but I've really got Joanne Calderwood money line or by decision, whichever you prefer. I know the payout's a little bit more by decision.
Yep, and I'm going with Jessica I. I mean, I think both these ladies match up well. I think it's going to be a close fight. Honestly, a fight that I would stay away with if you're betting. But I just think Jessica I has the better boxing, is able to win the exchanges on the stand ups. Give me a Jessica I money line at +100.
Okay, and then the next bout we have Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler at 155 lightweight division. Other than the McGregor fight, this is a fight I've been looking forward to the most. Dan Hooker's coming in as a slight favorite at -170, I believe. Some books, I believe some of them are at -155. He's that low on some. But Michael Chandler's coming in as the underdog. He was an NCAA Division I All-American in 2009. He's making his UFC debut, and he's had a pretty good career in Bellator. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. As the closer I get to this fight, the less confidence I have in Chandler. But I just really hope he shows up. He has a lot on the line right now. He has a lot to prove, and I think that that'll make the difference in this fight. So, I'm not. This is a slight lean, but I'm going to go Michael Chandler money line.
Gotcha. And yeah, if you guys are watching this, please smash that like button. My man Rod Zawacki, Pig Dog family member right here, dropped in the comments. How you doing, Rod? But yeah, drop that like button. It helps us out a lot. So yeah, we're talking about Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler. Yeah, I said in the show Wednesday. I think the UFC is just the cream of the crop when it comes to MMA, and I think Michael Chandler has a tough test here with Dan Hooker. I mean, if you look at Michael Chandler's last 5 fights and you look at Dan Hooker's, it's easy to see who has fought the better competition. I think Dan Hooker is able to keep his distance here and just pick him apart from the outside. The reach is going to be too much. I could see Michael Chandler coming in for a takedown and Dan Hooker throwing one of those knees and clipping him. So I like Dan Hooker a lot here at money line. -130, not great odds, but I think that's the play right here.
Yeah, and once again, this is a pick 'em. Basically in my eyes, if Chandler can get this fight to the ground, he's going to win. If Hooker can keep this fight on the feet, he's going to win. It's basically that simple, and then we have the main event, Brad. I don't know about you, but this is the most excited I've been for a while for a fight. We have Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Conor the Notorious McGregor in the lightweight 155-pound division. Dustin's entering this fight at 26-0 or 26-6-0. The Notorious is entering this fight 22-4-0. Conor won his last fight against Cowboy Cerrone, a spectacular first-round finish. I really don't see Conor knocking out Poirier in the first round. I don't see it happening, and I actually, in my opinion, I believe that there's some value as Poirier is the underdog. But it'll be interesting to see how this fight plays out, because if Poirier is able to survive round 1 and 2, he might win this fight. Emphasis on might. If Conor is able to throw a ton of volume throughout the fight, really be relentless with the strikes, the body shots in the first and second round, relentless with the pressure, he should win this fight. So on a slight lean, once again, I'm going to go with the big underdog pick and a prop bet, and I'm going to go McGregor by KO in third round at +330 or at +750. And you could also hit second round at +330. But my most confident pick would be +750 McGregor by KO in third round.
I disagree, my man. Poirier's not going to sleep tonight. I got Dustin Poirier all day. I mean, I'm taking the guy who's been more active, who has fought better opponents in the last, 3-4 years. Besides the Cowboy Cerrone win, Conor McGregor's last win was back in 2016 against Eddie Alvarez. Conor took a break there. He was doing his businesses, just grinding, being a boss, which I respect. But Dustin Poirier was in the gym, and that man hasn't took a break from the gym. So give me Dustin Poirier money line at +250. I think he pieces up Conor McGregor. I mean, I know a lot of people in the chat, these Conor McGregor fans aren't going to like that. And I got hella respect for Conor McGregor, but Dustin Poirier all day, he's going to win this fight. And I'm thinking in a war, just a decision. I think McGregor has some success in the first couple rounds. Close fight in the first couple rounds, but I think Poirier takes it away 3, 4, and 5. Just outstrikes him.
And once again, if Poirier is able to survive round 1 and 2, he's increased his chance of winning by like 100,000%. Um, if I could totally see Poirier getting caught though in round 1 and 2, but do I think it's going to happen? Possibly, but like I said, it's a slight lean with McGregor's KO in second or third round.
Mm-hmm.
But before we end this call, the fights are about to come up. Let's just run through a quick. Do you have any parlays for the main card, Brad?
Yeah. Go with yours first.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Joanne Calderwood money line. I'm gonna go with Muradov money line, and I'm gonna go with Michael Chandler money line.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go Amanda Hebas inside the distance at plus 200. Dan Hooker money line, and let's see. I'm just gonna go with that. You get a plus 200 and a minus 135. I think that you get some good odds there. So just a
Yeah,
2-5 parlay there. Heba's inside the distance and Dan Hooker money line.
perfect. Well, guys, we're really looking forward to this bout. We couldn't be more excited to see this channel grow consistently, and follow Pick Dogs on Instagram, subscribe to them on YouTube, smash that like button. It helps us out. It's free. We do a ton of free content for you guys. Spend a ton of time researching. So just simply hitting that like button helps us out a lot more than you could ever imagine. And Brad, do you have anything else to say?
Nope, that's it for me. Appreciate you guys watching, and next time you probably see us will be probably Wednesday for our show. I believe the next fight's like Overeem versus someone, so we'll have to look into that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and enjoy the fights.